Hey everyone! Welcome back to J plus K Retro Gaming Channel.
Good one.
I said it just like you.
Today is going to be another installment of our Retro Top 10 lists, where we each do 5 of our favorite retro topics. And this time it's going to be...
movies. But, a slight caveat.
Okay.
We're actually going to do top 10 movies twice. Today's installment is top 10 80s movies that we watched in the 80s. We're going to come back again because I feel like this list isn't very comprehensive of the best 80s movies because
later on in life we watched
a lot more and
80s,
discovered the greatness that is the 80s.
But I mean, even in the 90s, whatever. I counted,
but I was pretty little in the 80s, so my choices tonight will reflect that.
So it was obviously hard because we love 80s movies to narrow it down to just 5, but we did our best. So my number 5 is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this?
Great movie.
Very good movie. We rewatched it recently and it definitely
Holds up.
Sure. Really good. We recently actually got this VHS as well.
Yeah,
which we haven't watched on VHS yet, but we will.
I've been into collecting VHS tapes. It's weird because they're worth like nothing.
That's
but
okay.
It's just nice to have
for the
VHS.
Nostalgia.
And we have the Tube TV and VCR. And
VCR set up, so we're gonna have a VHS night. And this is one of the ones that should be good on VHS.
Yeah.
There's just certain movies that you want to watch on VHS. So a lot of these will encompass that.
The original quality is probably not that great anyway, so it's not like you need a Blu-ray of Ferris Bueller. Although, special features and stuff, they don't really have those on VHS.
Yes. So of course the iconic Bueller.
Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller.
That's one of the iconic lines.
Bueller.
So just the whole theme of the movie, it was obviously really funny, and there's a lot of physical comedy in it, but there's also underlying themes like the friendship arc with him and his girlfriend Sloane, and also his best friend Cameron.
You forgot his name, didn't you?
Forgot his name. But just that theme.
Yeah.
Underlying theme. It's
you know
kind
what
of cool.
I think of every single time it's like you think Ferris Bueller and then you automatically hear that Bueller line. But you know what I think of every single time I hear Ferris Bueller? It's like immediately.
Oh yeah.
Ooh yeah.
We could talk about this forever, but we don't want to. I want to keep this video short. So that's my number 5. What's yours?
My number 5? The Karate Kid. Technically, Karate Kid 2.
Secret of Miyagi family karate.
I don't get it.
Practice, you will.
Can you break a log like that?
Don't know. Never been attacked by tree.
I didn't even know we had the box set.
Yes. So people who know me will know I'm a little bit obsessed with Japan. And this is the one where they actually go to Okinawa. And this was like, not really my... the drums. This isn't really my introduction to Japanese culture per se, but it just kind of fit into that whole thing. And to be completely honest, I've never even seen the third one.
Maybe we will have to.
So, yeah. But I mean, I was really interested in like the first one, like with the whole learning about Japanese culture and that kind of thing, and then obviously the second one going there. The third one, why bother?
Yeah, and we recently watched one episode of Cobra Kai. We turned it off right away.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was going to be kind of like not a reboot, but like more to do with karate stuff, and maybe it gets there, but it was so cheesy. And sorry, Ralph, I do love you. For the acting as an adult.
Oh well.
Sorry. So what's your number 4?
So my number 4 is is a movie
Or 3.
that maybe isn't suitable for children.
Did you actually watch this in the 80s? You probably did.
I think I did, yeah. Maybe late 80s, early 90s. But I'm throwing it in there anyways. It's a classic, a must-watch for anyone now anyways. And it is... I'm going to need help with this. The Godfather. So I enjoyed all 3. I know people didn't really like the 3rd one, but I'm including this as one movie.
So we
but
do have...
1 and 2 are the best ones. Definitely classic. Al Pacino. For a while, I was really into Al Pacino and Robert De Niro stuff, so they're both in the 2nd one, which is really iconic. Al Pacino's in the 1st one with Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
So
it's like bridging the old actors.
James
with
Caan
the new
as well
actors.
was in there.
Yeah. Which is funny because now Al Pacino is like an older actor, but he was like young then. And anyways.
Yeah. And one of my favorite movies, Elf. I don't even think about this one.
Oh, R.I.P. James Caan.
He's passed away?
Yeah.
Oh, when?
Within the last year or 2. I told you, but you forgot. It's okay. Here. I think The Godfather is like one of the most quoted movies. Like, put it up there with some other movies that we'll get to.
I'm surprised I...
Sorry, I just tried to wink and it was like...
I'm surprised I haven't put a little bit of a video quote in my movies that I've made because I usually like to do that. So maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Or maybe you'll stick a quote in there of me in Don Quixote being like...
With the horse's head.
It's just before the horse's head ends up in the bed with all the bloody sheets, you know, wakes up and it's Never mind.
So that was my number 4. A lot different than my number 5. And my list is actually going to be really random. So I've tried to pick a lot of movies that encompassed a lot of what I liked. So your number 4?
My number 4? The Never-Ending Story.
What is the secret of this enchanted book? What wonders are hidden within its pages? What magical spell does it cast on all who read it? What is the secret of the never-ending story?
This was actually a hard pick for me. I do love this movie, and I loved it in the 80s, but I was terrified to my very soul. That thing, the wolf thingy, what do they call it? The darkness, or I don't know what it is, but it's terrifying. But I love this movie, you know, scarred for life. Most people are scarred from the scene, no spoilers.
Spoilers from the 80s.
With Atreyu in Aztec. Most people are scarred because of Aztec. But no, I was afraid of the big black wolf.
I never watched this movie in the 80s or even 90s. I only watched it as an adult.
Yeah, and
2000s.
That's a pity because this, like, I'm a very whimsical person. I really like magic stuff and, like, you know, fantasy and that kind of just like wholesome childhood feeling of, like, you know, different worlds and different kind of things, and getting lost in a book is really cool. But one of the best parts of this movie is the theme song. You know, I love me some 80s music, and the Neverending Story theme song is so good.
Turn around, look at what you see in her face, the mirror of your dreams.
So I don't remember this movie that much at all even now, so I think we have to rewatch it again.
Definitely, I'm ready for a rewatch. There is a Neverending Story Part 2, which was like years later with like a different actor. I actually think it was like
one of those.
That Jonathan Brandis kid. I can't remember. Anyways, it's bad. No, sticking to the original. That's it.
So my number 3.
3.
Something that could be on your list as well.
Something we fought over.
The Transformers movie.
Yeah.
In the summer of 19... 1986. The most exciting adventure in the universe is on planet Earth. Transformers, the movie.
Frequent watchers of this
Yes.
channel will realize how much we both love Transformers.
Transformers, although you don't like the live action Transformer movies,
That's
and
not
I
Transformers.
do. But anyways, that's another topic. The Transformers movie, I don't know if you know the story, but I actually watched it in the theaters when it came out. My cousin from San Francisco, they were visiting, and he actually took me to the theater to watch this movie.
That's awesome.
And back then, I wasn't really into Transformers, and he got me into Transformers, and then from then it kind of snowballed. The toys and all of that.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Another movie that scars children, especially back in the 80s when you weren't expecting it. Do you remember your reaction in the theater to this movie?
No, I don't. I don't at all.
Yeah. And
Because when Optimus...
no spoilers.
Okay.
We all know by now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 40 years later.
Yeah. No, I don't remember my...
Yeah. So.
I do remember watching it. And I actually remember the theater we went to, which is odd because I have a bad memory. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's one that even now watching it, I still cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Great soundtrack to this movie, by the way.
I think we're due for a rewatch of this too.
Definitely. I need to get this in multiple formats too. We only have a DVD, but we need both a Blu-ray and a VHS at this point, I think.
Yeah, possibly. So you're number 3?
Number 3, The Princess Bride.
Ah.
Fencing, fighting, chases, escapes, giants, monsters, torture, revenge, true love, miracles.
Talk about a quotable movie, man. I adore this movie. Again, with the whole fantasy, different world, magical kind of aspect to it. And also, Wesley's dreamy. I mean, Buttercup is pretty dreamy too, but yeah, I love this movie. It's so funny. Like I've always said, this movie has everything in it. It's got action, adventure, romance, comedy, Baby Fred Savage.
I don't remember. I didn't watch this movie at all either in the 80s until you actually introduced it to me.
Yeah, I was like,
you quoted,
what? You've never heard? You've never seen this movie?
I think you did that quote with the Mandy Patinkin quote.
Oh, yeah.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
And you killed my father.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And I was like, what are you talking about? You're like, you haven't seen that? So then you like introduced it to me, and I think the first watch I was like, I don't know about this. But then I've grown to love it. Like it.
Again, as a kid, terrifying. The part with the ROUSs. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the and even like the part where he's like, you know, pit of despair kind of thing, like gross. But yeah. Anybody want a peanut?
Fezzik, are there rocks ahead?
If there are, we all be dead.
No more rhymes now, I mean it.
Anybody want a peanut?
Ah!
So what do you got for number 2?
So my number 2 is also another one that we kind of went back and forth on.
Also another one that's not just one movie.
One movie. But actually, if I were to pick one, you know how sometimes it's hard to pick one out of a trilogy?
We might disagree here.
But I think the first one.
Yeah. I'm going to go with number 2.
And it's Back to the Future.
You like part 1 the best, and I like part 2 the best.
I like all of them, but I like part 1.
Yeah. So you like the going back and fast, where I like going ahead into the future.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's another thing. Like I like the magic stuff, but I also really like future set, that retro futurism stuff. It's really cool.
I like both too, or all 3.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the introduction of the time travel is always obviously it's in the first one, so that was taken care of in the first one. So I like that a little bit better.
I like the version of time travel in this one. Because every kind of time travel movie has like a different way of looking at it. And then, you know, some movies, Marvel, they'll just throw all time travel out the window and make up something totally new, which is fine. Cool. I like that too.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like this version. And also, Michael J. Fox.
You had a crush on Michael J. Fox.
He was my very first celebrity crush. Yeah, I still adore him.
And that's one to grow on.
I had a crush on Elizabeth Shue. A little bit. But it wasn't because of this movie. It was in The Saint.
Sorry, I'm not very good with people.
Me neither.
You know how in part 2 everyone talks about how like that date has already passed now, and it was a few years ago. I can't remember what the date was, but they're always talking about like, oh, why don't we have hoverboards and all this kind of thing, and like, I want my self-lacing shoes. I'm like, really? You can't tie your shoes? I want weather that's like, oh, it's raining. That's what I want.
Or they had that coffee shop where the robot was serving them. They kind of have that in Japan.
So for my number 2, it was a toss-up. I kept going back and forth. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I couldn't place them which one was which because both are extremely influential on my lives. I eventually settled on another 3-part trilogy, Star Wars.
Which probably, because we didn't want to duplicate our lists, would be number 1 on my list. But I'll let you have it.
Thanks. So this is our Blu-ray copy. We also have, because George Lucas never actually released them on DVD at the time, so we have these ones that come from...
They were bootleg.
Shanghai?
Not sure. I don't know.
Somewhere.
I remember early on in the early eBay days, there was a guy selling them on eBay.
Yeah, so it's actually funny on the back here. I'm just seeing subtitles: English, Chinese, Malay, and Thai. It's funny. Sadly, we do not have them on VHS yet
because we're waiting.
We've been trying to get them on Facebook
This
Marketplace.
Copy, yes.
And every single time we go to like message someone, they're like, "Oh, I just sold it," or "Oh, it's sold a long time ago. We forgot to take the listing down," or "Oh, this person has been on vacation for the last 6 months."
Is it the specific copies because you don't like the special editions?
Yeah, see, we already have the updated versions on Blu-ray, so I wanted the original versions as how I used to watch them on VHS, but also I specifically wanted the 1994 VHS because at the end, it's like a special feature. After the movie's done playing, they have like 20 minutes of like a featurette kind of thing. Those are the VHS copies that have some of the updates in them, some of the CGI cleanup stuff, but I don't think they're the ones, I can't remember now. But I do actually want the original 80s ones as well. Just, I want all the Star Wars.
So I remember, again, being the youngest out of the 4 siblings, being dragged to different places and movies, and this was actually one of them, so Star Wars. So I did watch Star Wars and all 3 of them in the theater, and it definitely, I don't remember exactly how it impacted me in watching it, but I do remember watching it in the theaters, and then of course afterwards collecting all the toys and all the other brainwashing like Mattel and Lucas stuff. So instantly became a Star Wars fan and has, you know, you get into some things as a kid or even as a young adult or whatever, and then you're kind of out of it for a few years and then you might revisit it. But I think Star Wars has always been in my life. Yeah. I've always liked Star Wars. I've never really dropped Star Wars. So
yeah, which was kind of not difficult, but kind of weird for me being a girl because none of my female friends liked Star Wars growing up, and there was like I never didn't not like it, but there were times like when I was 10 to 14 or something where I was just kind of like, I love Star Wars, but like I didn't talk about it or anything. But then I met my little group of geeks in high school and I was like their token girl in their little group, and like we'd sit in the hallways at lunchtime and it's like, oh, Star Wars. It's such dorks. I mean, there's not really much else to say about Star Wars other than I love it.
I love you.
I know.
So we're down to the top picks. Your number one, my number one.
One.
So my number one's gonna be Indiana Jones. So again, it could be the trilogy, but if I were to pick one, I do like the last one, but I would be happy enough just to go with any of them. Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, is a classic. So I also have it on this bootleg collection.
Another Chinese bootleg copy.
That I purchased before it was released on DVD. So another eBay purchase.
Yeah. We do own these movies on Blu-ray as well, downstairs.
Yeah, but can't show them all. So another Harrison Ford classic, Spielberg, had everything, action, adventure, comedy.
And Sean Connery.
Oh, the third one.
And the congratulations on your Oscar winner little...
Oh, the second one. Yeah, I don't know his name either. The short round in the movie. But I can't believe that when you told me he was in that movie, The
Goonies? Oh, you're talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once? Yeah.
And then we started watching it, and I was like, oh my god, he has the same voice.
Exact same voice, yeah.
Wow, holy smoke! Crash landing!
Short round. Step on it.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes!
From so many years later.
You should go see that.
But yeah, so Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know, would it have made your list?
No, actually.
Indiana Jones?
No. I do love Harrison Ford, but I did not watch these movies as a kid.
So I really liked this kind of
action adventure.
And also like treasure hunting. So
yeah, I see that.
Anything like that, even now with Tomb Raider and the video games.
Yeah, you're big into treasure hunting too. So.
And there's the Uncharted video games, which are kind of along the same theme.
You even like
going into oh yeah, so finding crazy treasure hidden somewhere in some sort of weird hidden lost city mountain.
But also like that conspiracy kind of thing too.
Yeah, the Nazis hid all their treasures there. But anyways, yeah, I really enjoy those kind of movies. So.
And we are going to call it a trilogy and pretend that the fourth movie just doesn't exist.
Why does everyone hate
Kingdom
Shia LaBeouf?
It's not even about that. It's just that it was not a good movie.
Yes, it wasn't the greatest.
Anyways, so we're down to my number one movie.
One.
Any guesses?
Hint, hint.
I am a huge, huge, huge fan of E.T.
I'll be right here.
This
Classic.
movie came out in 1982. I was only 2 years old at the time. What really made an impact on me to start with was I was surrounded by E.T. stuff all the time. So we had like a big E.T. stuffy, and we had like books, the audio books where you chime and turn the page with the reader. And what really sticks out to me the most is I had this bottle of bubble bath.
I think we had the same one.
And it was E.T. and he was wearing Elliot's flannel shirt, when Elliot goes to school and E.T. stays home and gets drunk. And E.T.'s head was the lid. of the bubble bath. So you actually had to twist off his head. So that was kind of weird. So I guess that really stuck out in my brain as a toddler. But like even Reese's Pieces, like that's where my love of that comes from. So well done on the branding and marketing for that. But for one of when we were still dating, you bought me this amazing box set. I don't know if it was birthday or Christmas or something, but I love this. This is amazing. I'm just going to show you guys. So I open it up, and right on top there's this certificate of authenticity. It's very fancy. And then you have this book here, which is from concept to classic, and it's really cool. I'm going to have to take a better look at this. So like there's all these pictures and interviews with the cast, and like the script for the movie is in here. So that's really cool. I'm gonna look at that later. And then the actual DVD box. So it's this cool case. And inside you actually have the original theatrical release, and then the 2002 version where they made all the digital changes, and even the soundtrack is in here, which is really cool. So we're gonna need to rewatch this really soon. I feel like we've said that about every single movie we've mentioned. And then last but not least, this is really cool.
I forgot about this.
Yeah, this is like, I forget what they call these, but it's like a little piece of the film. It's actually like in here. I guess that's why you need the certificate. So we've got the DVD, but we don't actually have this on Blu-ray. But I am happy that we got this VHS.
Yes, so when we found this VHS, we were at a thrift store, and we found it there, and we were so happy. And when we went to go buy it, the young guy that was helping us check out, he was maybe 20, not even.
Yeah.
And it
young
was
kid.
strange because it was weird for me because he was saying, "Oh, what a good find! You found E.T. on VHS."
Yeah.
And it was kind of refreshing to see that a young guy like that would know about VHSs, and he was talking about how there's just some movies that you need to watch in its original like film rather than the DVD. But that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I was a really big E.T. fan as well, but I don't think E.T. would have made my top 5 because I don't know. There's so many, as I said before, there's so many movies, so it's hard to narrow down.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would have made my top 5. So let us know in the comments what you think about our top 5 list, and let us know in the comments what your favorite movies were in the 80s, or the movies that you watched in the 80s.
Movies that you watched in the 80s. Yeah. But if you weren't born yet, or you're too young to have watched movies in the 80s, just go ahead and tell us whatever your favorite 80s movies were.
So once again, thank you all for watching. Thanks to all our subscribers for all your support. And we'll see you next time on our next Retro Top 10 list. Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to J+K Retro Gaming Channel. I said it just like him. Hey everyone.
Wait, I'm not looking. You ready?